I have traveled for days, faced the rain, and finally have found the sea. All of this to figure out, do we need Daft Punk in today's world? What can the robots teach us about being human? And why am I doing this? Join me in this episode and learn with me to appreciate the art of Daft Punk, learn sampling, and learn just what it means to be human. How is it that every time I want to leave, it rains? It's fitting. I will miss my little dog. All right, let's go.
Wait,
What?
you can't leave yet.
Not you.
The public deserves to know who Daft Punk is. Okay, friends? We need a guitar. A fast disco guitar. Don't worry. With the magic of music, everything will be alright. Now, we need some bass. Alright, my turn.
Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning. Love. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cause to the stars.
All right, I think we get it now.
But I haven't done my solo yet. It goes like...
No, we're good.
You don't want it. Fine. Toodaloo.
Let's go.
First off, we have to deal with the fact that you guys are robots, because this is the weirdest interview setup I've ever had.
Picture this. It's the 90s, and music is divided. There's the big pop stars like Michael Jackson, and the fringe movements like the Ramones. At the time, electronic music was left to the underground. It was a movement of pure emotions of having fun, but it hadn't reached the masses yet. Thomas and Guy are two French guys trying to make it in this music world. And they just struck the deals of their lives. They signed the record label. They make some songs with a band called The Darlings, and they go to stage. And you know what? People hated it. Their music was just not good, and people were bored. The record label is waiting for them to finish their album, but their heart's not into it. See, the 90s were a time where music was more accessible than ever for two main reasons. First, because anyone could get some synthesizers and just start making music, but also because of the punk movement. This punk music is raw, it is simple, it is pure feelings. People go to these concerts and they say, I can do that. You might say that Daft Punk is electronic music, but at its core, it's really punk. Daft Punk wanted to write music that is fun and that is whatever they wanted to do. Their first album would change the world.
Once you free your mind about the concept of harmony and of music being correct, you can do whatever you want.
Let's talk synthesizers. Don't worry, it's not a kind of disease or something. These are basically pianos, but that can generate the sound and you can modify them as you go. This is a sort of instrument that Daft Punk used all the time. I've got this old one from the 80s to show you how it works. During one of their first performances, Daft Punk did something that you really should not do. So we're gonna do it. First, we're gonna need a beat. Nice. So I have these cables here that are connecting the synthesizers to the board. And if I remove them, it makes that horrible sound. See this? Nice. So that's exactly what they started to do. And you had Thomas remove that thing and start to do a beat, and the crowd goes wild. All you need to add is a bit of flair.
colors for my 18th birthday, and with this, we just put a small sampler and a small synthesizer and a little effect in it. To clubs and raves and just discovering this whole new energy that we had lost in the rock scene in Paris.
You might have thought that what I played was kind of magical, but really it's pretty simple. So I have these sound makers here, and I can control how much of the sound I'm letting through or I'm cutting off. So I have this cut off there. So let's say that I play this here, you don't hear anything, and then slowly you can let the sound in, so you open it up. So these synthesizers are really powerful. You can do so much with it because you have so much control over the sound. And that's exactly what Daft Punk set out to do for their first album.
That was very close. Fortunately, everything is safe.
So yeah, I am listening to Daft Punk non-stop. You may or may not be hearing this, but I mean, I am. Because I want to be in the vibe, right? As much as I can immerse myself in the world of Daft Punk, the better it is. Daft Punk's first album is a hit. They had only printed 15,000 copies of their CDs, and everybody wants more. The recording label is getting calls from fans and shops to just get a hand on homework. Even with that popularity, Daft Punk doesn't want to do shows. Until one day, Coachella pitches to pay them $350,000 to play in 2006. And for that amount, they say, we... Daft Punk had something magical prepared for Coachella. I am at the Bell Center, where Daft Punk played in 2007 with the same setup as Coachella 2006. Picture this. The last band just stopped playing, and it is normal to have a few minutes of setup between bands. So people are waiting. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? After 40 minutes, the crowd is getting anxious. Where is Daft Punk? What has happened to them? And then finally, after an hour, there's a booming sound through the crowd, and the stage lights up. There's this huge pyramid of LEDs and screens with our French duo on top. Daft Punk just played one of the most incredible shows of that night. That whole setup cost them $350,000, their whole budget for Coachella. But our French robot duo... But our French robots are not done yet. Their biggest project is on the way.
My parting words to the robots would be, thank you for the sparkly gift you gave me, because it made me passionate about music in a way that was always there, but, you know, you turned up the heat.
Well, we're gonna listen to Touch, featuring Paul Williams. It's as if a robot is booting up, and in this sequence, we'll hear Paul Williams' voice, and it's gonna be like very robotic. Building up and look up.
Touch, I remember touch.
That's cool.
Pictures came with.
Okay, now we have Paul's real voice. Beautiful singer. Well, beautiful voice. I don't know if he's beautiful. I haven't seen him. So there's this feeling of being lost. A half-forgotten song. Where do I belong? I'm lost, and this is not
Tell
enough.
me what you see.
I need something more.
I need something more.
Okay, we're gonna repeat the same sequence. We're gonna be in the same universe where, in principle, these are sad chords. but it's gonna feel happy. And the reason why is because of the singer and because of the drums. If I just remove the singer and the drums and we just keep the sort of piano, hear it out. Same thing. But
Touch, where do you lead?
yeah, we're getting a bit more energy, right? This is interesting. There's a clear divide in this song between robots and humans. We started with the synthetic voice, and then we had like, you know, the human singer, but with robot instruments basically. And now we bring in the human instruments. So violins. It's gonna be like trumpets, clarinets. Just hear this. Isn't that amazing? And once again, we're gonna change everything. Pay attention to this change. It's gonna come up. Okay. This is pretty drastic. We slow down the rhythm completely. And we go back to the robot's instruments. The lyrics are, hold on, if love is the answer, you're home. The music was slowed down. Hold on the music. Hold on, everything slows down. If love is the answer, you're home. So this is the robots telling the humans, you need love. That is the answer, and you will be home. Okay, so one more time a build up. We have the robots and the humans. Everybody agrees. Love is the answer. You're home. Love is the answer, you're home. Hold on.
Touch, sweet touch. You've given me too much to feel.
This takes you by the heart so much. Because this is exactly the same as the start. Touch, sweet touch, you've given me too much to feel. You've almost convinced me I'm real. I need something more. So the narrator isn't convinced. Love isn't enough.
Sweet touch. You've
He wants
almost
something more.
convinced me I'm real. I need something more. I need something more.
What can Daft Punk teach us about being human? Well, in hiding their identities, they stayed true to themselves. Mask On, Daft Punk is a calculated robotic duo. They write music that is both relatable and revolutionary. Mask Off? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. And that's the point.
But I've always just seen them as like their spirit animals, which were robots. You know, when I reference them as robots, it's like, it's not a nod to what they wear or how they present themselves. It's a nod to what they actually are. They're really robots.
The robots do teach us to be human again, to let go, to come to interesting places and to just be us, to just live. At the top of their careers, after producing an album that cost more than $1 million to make, they stopped making music. Daft Punk let go of the robots and just started living again. We're always connected, we're always busy, but sometimes you just need to stop and live the moment. In the meantime, I've arrived at a cottage and I'm about to write a song just like Daft Punk. Join me in the second part of this episode. And if you haven't already and you like this stuff, subscribe please. This really helps me. My name is Penguin Astronaut, but everybody calls me Penguin.